What a chump. Can't you see what we're walking out on? The grind. 365 days a year.
How many are there?
36. Counted them myself.
36! But last year I had 37!
That place is a mess.
Mess? You're worried about a little mess? There's nothing here a little spit shine wouldn't fix.
I ought to kill you right now.
Not a very private place for a murder.
It's the Al Travis Show. Our next guest has been a friend of this program. I don't even know how many years now. He is Jeff Lester. He is the president and owner of Grandpa's Barbecue Sauce. Here it all the time in this show and across the state, actually. Jeff, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, good. We're finally getting into summer. We had a little glimpse of it, I think, last week. Now we're back into some rain and cold, but we're getting there.
It'll come, and the holidays are coming. Barbecue season is coming. Wanted to get on you. You came out with rubs now, and I want to get into all that for sure. You had a new website up, which is fantastic. Things are rolling for you all at Grandpa's Barbecue Sauce, is it not?
Yeah, no, things are going well. The messaging of how we donate everything 100%. 100% of profits, guys. Like we donate. We don't take it in. This is just something that we're doing to help for the XP Family Support Group, to help, for the cause. And it's kind of like, I compare it to, you got the Newman's brand when you think about salad dressings and all that stuff. We're trying to do that with the barbecue side. It's for a good cause, and it's a good product. We're getting great feedback. So that's why we've been moving.
You throw it out there because 100% of this goes to the XP Family Support Group. You throw it out there really fast. We're going to talk a lot about that in a minute. But it is 100% of the profits going to this charity. I love your slogan, by Barbecue with a Purpose. Basically, the original sauce comes from your grandpa's recipe. He was in the service, made this thing, and you guys always loved it forever. And then when your son got this disease, this XP, which has got a really long name, but easy to remember, XP, you found out there's not a lot of help out there. There's just not much going on. And we'll get into all of that. But I would like to share this with you if I can. I love the sauces. You sent me a case of the rubs. Give these a try out. They were coming out. I don't even know if they were actually on the shelves yet. And they're unbelievably good. People are going to say, Al, he's on your show. You say that. No, let me tell you this. They have this Mill City Steakhouse rub. And this is no lie. Put it on a steak. Absolutely. Makes sense, right? I took roasts out yesterday when I got home because I knew you were coming on the show. And I took the Mill City Steakhouse rub and put it across these roasts, right? Just old roasts. You throw them in a crock pot. You just gnaw through it. Cooked it up. Wife came home. And I'd already sliced it thin as a good roast. My wife goes, "This is fantastic. This is unbelievable. What did you do?" I said, "Nothing but the rub. This rub is, you could put this on your tennis shoe and you'd eat your shoe. This stuff is fantastic. I love the Northern Woods. This is kind of an all-purpose thingy. You can kind of taste the pepper and the lemon kind of thing. You can see what you'd use this for on fish or something. It's great. Yep. The Northern Buffalo, and this is me. I'm telling you, I've tried them all. Northern Buffalo. My family, because I'm a guy and they put on this, they think I want my lips to burn when I eat buffalo sauce. I don't. I flippin' hate that because you got to have the ranch there. And I don't enjoy that. So I was tepid, to say the least, when I put the Northern buffalo sauce on. But I did it instead of chicken wings, I put it on chicken breast. And did chicken breast the way I do them. The stuff is fantastic. You kind of get a sense for the heat, but I'm not running for another beer to take down my palate. The stuff gives you that buffalo flavor without killing you. Now, was that on purpose? This is not.
Oh, 100%. No, 100% on purpose. I am with you. I do not like my mouth burning when I eat, but I like the taste of the buffalo flavor. Like this is where it's like I pretend in my head I'm like, I'm gonna get buffalo because I want the flavor. I want that flavor profile when I'm eating wings or whatever it is. And then I take that first bite and I'm like, oh God, what did I do? Why did I do this? I don't like that burning sensation. And I'm like, all right, I got to figure out a way to get the buffalo flavor without that heat. And this will give you enough kick for those that want it, but it's not overpowering. So.
Yeah, no, and I don't like to cry when I eat. I love eating. Why would I want to cry? The other one is the sweet barbecue rub. Very good. I guess I would kind of almost Kansas City kind of barbecue rub thing. I'm going to be honest because it's what I do here. And again, I can't tell you how much I love your product. But if I'm going to the sweet barbecue rub now, I just go back to the original. I get it out of the jar and I poured it on. That I don't want to ruin sales of sweet. I don't believe I'm that big of a guy. But you get my point. Is that okay to say? I just like, if I'm going to go with the sweet, I'm grabbing the original.
Yep. No, and that's perfectly fine, because what I think a lot of people end up doing is they will smoke their meat, whether it's a pork butt or the ribs, right? They're going to put on their the spices, the rubs, whatever it is, or use the sweet barbecue, right? You put that on, and then they'll lather then a bunch of barbecue sauce on later, and it's like you're adding so many flavor profiles to that you don't need to do that. Like it's kind of one or the other. Or what you do is you can dip into the sauce and have that little bit, but you don't really need to do them both. I think to me, it's overkill, to be quite honest, in my opinion. One of the things I actually did last weekend, I did a pork butt, a Boston pork butt, a big thing. We smoked it. It was about 15 hours worth of smoking. And what I've been doing lately, and I mean, you got to try this. You get you basically the tin pans that you can buy, right? Yeah, it's like a 8x8 pan. Put your pork butt in there, smoke it in there. So all that fat will
just keep,
and then it keeps it in there. And then what I did is I just used a sweet barbecue rub for that. And then when I pulled it all apart, well, all that flavor now went right back into it. And then it's amazing, you know.
You a Traeger guy? You a Traeger guy? You got a Traeger? What do you got?
Well, I got too many. My wife says I have way too many smokers.
I started
out with a charcoal. It's a Weber bullet thing. It's how I started. Love it. It's more time. Like if you like to fiddle, if you got time, great, right? Because then you got to adjust it, the air intake, so different heat and getting at that temp. Then I ended up going and getting a Traeger. It's easy, like it's a push of a button, set a temp, you walk away, and there's the app to the damn thing. It's like hands off, and especially because with kids, it's like you get so busy, and it's like, man, I can adjust.
That is too funny.
I'm at my son's soccer game. I mean, it's great. I have to admit, but it's kind of it's
fantastic. No, it's fantastic. My kid got one of the fancy ones with the remote control thing, like say on your phone, and he just keeps swearing by it. Now I'm an old school guy, and finally I broke down because we had some food there, and like, yeah, it really is easy. Now I bought a used one because I want to find out if I'm going to like this thing or not.
Oh yeah,
does everything like you say with the push a button, but I don't have the app. But I find I like that. I'm outside, Traeger's doing his thing, I'm smoking a cigar, I'm wandering around the yard doing my thing, come back, check. It's all the stuff. This Traeger season, that's what I'm calling it. They're not a sponsor here yet, is Mill City Steakhouse season. The first steak I did on that Traeger grill was that Mill City Steakhouse. My wife. Oh, I'm so glad we got that. She's blaming the Traeger. You could have cooked that on a skillet over an open fire and it would have tasted great. I love the sauces. Now, quick news story on that. So I believe in this enough. You sent me this stuff and I tried all of them. And I drove. The paperwork that came with it had a little thing about your business and, the sauces. I drove it to Juba's Super Value. That's our grocery store in town. I say in town, might be the only one in the county. I drove it there, and it's family owned. Tom, his son Tim, kind of runs things now. And I turned it in. I said, give me a call. I'd like to talk to you about this product. Well, it took a while, yada, yada. People are sick. Anyway, chatted with Tim the other day, and he goes, what's going on with this thing? And I said, first off, the rubs are fantastic. Now they got a big rub section. You got competition out there, my boy. But I said this stuff is great. I swear by it. And here's what I want to do. I want you to put it up in your store. I'm going to tell everybody that Juba's has got it. I want everybody in Blue Earth to go buy some of this stuff, and I will let them know it's here, and we'll see how well this thing goes. And then I said, and just so you know, all the proceeds go to this unbelievable deal called XP. And I said, I don't remember the big long name. And 100% of the profits go to help this kid. I kind of described it. He goes, you got to be kidding me. I said, no. And the sauces are worth it. He goes, tell him we'll put them in on the shelf. You're going to be in Juba's Super Value. I'm excited about it. Now, don't race there today, people, because they got to get the stuff set up. But when it is there, I will let the world know.
Go on a 2-week turn just because we're shipping and everything, get it down there. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm excited about it. Tim said that absolutely they find you the shelf space, because I know that's what that whole business is about, how much shelf space. When I heard your story, and I swore to him, and I told him, if you don't like the sauce, you pick the one you don't like, I'll buy them. I'll take about. You will not get. He goes, you don't have to do this, and I know it will go away. This stuff is fantastic. So that's starting up hopefully in 2 weeks. I'll let the world know when it gets there. But he was excited, and it's really not just the sauces and the rubs. We got to talk about what it's for. Can we do that after the break?
100%.
He's Jeff, and he's Jeff Lester. He's the president, the guy who runs things for Grandpa's Barbecue Shop. It's grandpasbbqshop.com.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
The Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
He's Jeff Lester. He's the guy who runs Grandpa's Barbecue, grandpasbbqshop.com. Go there and take a look today. And all of this is Barbecue with a Purpose. All proceeds go to what's called the XP Foundation Family Support Group. Can you describe to us what it is, Jeff? What exactly is XP?
Yeah, so XP is a genetic disorder. I'll try to keep it short. If I get long, just feel free to cut me off at any given time. I tend to go deep at times. But simple terms, a lot of people think of it as you're allergic to the sun. What it is, it's you can't be exposed to UV light. So it's not just the sun, but it's also light bulbs outside of LED light. LED light is the only light that does not emit UV. So for kids that are born with this genetic disorder and living with this genetic disorder, they cannot be exposed to any UV light, because what happens is when that light hits their skin, UV kills cells, just like you and I, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our body knows how to fix this stuff, right? Our body within our DNA makeup, right? It has that ability to fix these things, right? So we don't really think about it. I mean,
we just shed some skin, you move on.
This is why sunscreen is very important, by the way, everyone. Just in general, you should be wearing sunscreen. Because the long-term effects is when we see it. But for these kids, it's immediate. What happens is the skin cells die, and then they don't get repaired. And then what happens? It basically turned into cancer. So it's a skin cancer is what it turns into. And then then they have to get him removed. My son, I mean, when he was, we found out when he was about 18 months old is when we actually got the final diagnosis with it. He had several, I mean, for him, he burned really badly. So if he was out in the sun for 10 minutes before we knew, I mean, it was like a 10-minute walk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just a normal thing you're doing when you have a newborn baby, right? With him, that night, he basically turned beet red, and then it looked like 3rd-degree burns, right?
Wow.
And we're like, all right, something's wrong here. So there's different levels, different cases within the XP community of what happens to individuals. But for him, he burns very quickly. And then because of that, just that 18-month period before we knew, and then once we found out we were able to protect him, I mean, he's had several skin cancers we have to get removed. There's still more spots that occur. So if you see usually older individuals, you do see this. It's kind of like little dark spots. People think they're freckles, but it's basically skin. It's damage from themselves with UV. Usually get people that are outside a lot that tend to have this more. But for him, I mean, he's had it since I think his first spot we saw when he was 2 years old, right? So right after kind of that 18-month period, he started having it. So,
how many people across the country have this? It's very rare.
It's 1 in a million with XP, and then within those cases, for my son, there's a subset that he has. It's about 35 kids, so it does get rare. The more you break it down, but from the XP community itself, so think 350 million people, 1 in a million. You're about 350-ish that we know of. I'm sure there's more, but it's just what we know of. So.
All right, and because of the lack of humans that have it, I mean, 300 people in the country, I presume there's not a lot of scientific work going on to help this. I know you've said on this show 3M has really stepped up. They give window stickers, if you will, film to keep the UV light down and that sort of thing. So that's where this money goes, right? When you buy a jar or a can, a shaker of your rib sauce, all the proceeds go to help families that are in this group, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we put on, we work with other companies like 3M. They've been wonderful. They have a film, like you mentioned, that blocks out 99.9% UV rays, so people can put it on their home so they're not living in the dark during the day. Yeah. They can actually open up the windows. They can put it in their car so they can safely transfer their kids. Because once, now people are hearing 99.9%, well, there's still some getting in. Well, what happens is once it hits into the window, comes in a little bit, it actually dies out. Right. Okay. So as long as they're sitting like center of a car, they're safe.
They're fine.
Similar to like windows in your home. But what we do is all the money goes to that we raise every other year. So every 2 years we put on, it's called XP Medical Support Group. So XP Family Support Groups put on this medical support conference, and it brings all families in that have XP. It brings doctors together, and as well some companies will come in as well just to learn about it. Right. It's a teaching moment that we can use for the community, but it's also a huge teaching moment for these families to get together and to learn from each other. Because if you think about the rarity of it, you can't just go buy the protective clothing at Walmart. Like it doesn't exist. You can't buy it on Amazon. You're making this stuff. We've had to make everything for him. We've had to customize everything so that he can, we can safely transport him around, or he can just live safely without being burned. So that's where the money goes. Everything goes to that. Every 2 years, this conference costs over $100,000 every year we done. We try to keep costs down, but when you think about hotels, flights, doctors that come in, it's just, and feeding, it's a lot of money.
You do not have to justify any of that. This is what you're doing. It's for 350 kids across this nation and their families that are put in just unbelievable situations for no fault of their own, genetic mishap of some sort. It is called Grandpa's Barbecue Shop. I'm asking everybody to go to the website, grandpasbbqshop.com, buy some. All proceeds go to a good cause. You tell me who else does that. Nobody. So let's get it done. I'm going to mention one more time, Juba's Super Value in Blue Earth, my local guy, is going to be carrying. Don't rush there yet. They'll be there in a couple of weeks, but I'll let people know. I'm telling you, this is as good a sauce as anything I've ever had. And you might as well be giving your sauce and your steaks a good reason to flavor up.
Love it.
Is that fair enough? Jeff, I thank you so much for coming to this program. I'm honest with you, sir. You're doing everything for the right reasons, and God bless you, and God bless your son. I hear he had some issues here in the last week or so. Prayers from all of us to your family, my friend.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for doing what you can. We do appreciate
Grandpa's Barbecue Shop, grandpasbbqshop.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue